What's up, guys? Frodo Baggins from Reddit Omega here to give you the next war recap video, and this one is over another set war that we did against our associate clan, Omega Labs, and it was a really fun war all around. It was a lot of good practice for both sides. It was really fun to see how we took on our own bases, and I hope we get to do it again soon at some point. It was a fun war. The home team did end up getting the win, which is nice for our record, but anyways, I'm not going to waste more time on it. Let's go ahead and get straight to attacks. The first one we're going to look at is a Town Hall 10 3-star on C-Dub by Juniub. So, Shattered Laloon, pretty typical for a Town Hall 10 3-star, and this base was set up pretty well for Laloon. It was very susceptible to it, and Junie's got max heroes, so he has a lot that he can do with those. There's a lot of distance they can cover. So he's just sending in 2 golems, getting the funnel created with some wizards. There are some high HP storages on the sides there, but his wizards are taking them out, and his heroes were put down in very good spots. Golems are going in. They end up getting the CC troops lured out rather than the Barbarian King, which is awesome. He does not bring a poison for this raid since he does have his Archer Queen right there, and I think that's just fine. Because already, 1 air defense is down, the enemy Archer Queen is down, he has an Expo down, the Archer Queen is taking out that dragon, now the air defense, and here in just a second, it's going to retarget to that Expo, or not Expo, sorry, Inferno Tower. And he's already got everything he's needed from that kill squad, so he just starts sending in his Laloon. We have 1 Hound coming in from the east there. It already busts, but he has a 2nd Hound going in. Loons are just being dropped in this surgical type fashion. And if you can get the Archer Queen, 2 air defenses, and an Inferno Tower, and an X-Bow, with just 2 golems, a few wizards, and your heroes, you're in good shape. You've pretty much got the 3-star. All you have to do is get the Laloon portion fairly decently. So he brings, I think he had 2 rages for them and 2 freezes, and got really good value for the freezes. It's game over at this point. All his hounds are busted. He has the pups doing cleanup. His Archer Queen is still up. The Loons are taking out those last few defenses that are left. And it's just game over. Great job, Junie. Okay. The next one we are going to look at is Dylan taking on Wiggum. And he is bringing Laloon to this raid as well. I love that we did get some Laloon in this scrimmage just because we don't see it much anymore. And I just love it when we do see it because you have to be creative when you're planning on a Laloon now because so many bases are designed specifically against it. You have those offset air defenses, or offset queen and air defenses on the other side, and that can make it really tough to get any Laloon done. But Dylan picked apart the base really well, attacked on a side I don't think anyone was expecting, and it was just so much fun to watch because he gets exactly what he wants from it. He's going to get both those air defenses and the Archer Queen and all those CC troops. He drops his poison to get rid of those balloons because with the new poison from the update, balloons go down within seconds. His Archer Queen is picking them off too at this point. The enemy Archer Queen is starting to bang on his golems, but it's fine because his king just sprints across half the base to go ahead and start taking her out. An air sweeper, an Expo, 2 air defenses, 2 Teslas, all down at this point, so he starts sending in his Laloon portion. And same as Junie, with sending in the hounds, different angles on those air defenses, dropping loons in the surgical fashion, get rid of those defenses as soon as possible. Double Seeking Air Mines did do a lot of damage to his hounds, but because of how much he got taken care of with his kill squad, there's not much danger here. Last hound is going in, last few balloons on the backside are going in. Still has 1 balloon in the bag for cleanup. Both of those hounds are gonna bust, giving him a lot more cleanup too. Everything just went so well in this raid. There goes that air defense and the air sweeper, and now it's just cleanup. Really fun one to watch. The next one we will be looking at is my own base getting very destroyed by Wiggum. With level 4 drags being available at Town Hall 9, a lot of people are actually trying to figure out a way to utilize them, and Wiggum does a really great job at doing this in this raid. He's going to do an AQ walk to try and get rid of the air defenses that are up there, uses 2 lightnings and an earthquake to get rid of the air defense that's on the other side of the base. And he's just waiting. He's getting some minions to get some extra percent down there. He sends in some wall breakers just so that the Archer Queen can go into that compartment, which she will here in just a second. The air defense is locking onto the healers, which isn't too detrimental at this point. How many did he bring? I think he brought 5? 5 or 4, something along those lines. So his Archer Queen's in pretty good shape. 2 are still left once this air defense goes down, so he's fine. The Clan Castle troops do start coming out, which is a little worrisome, but he drops a rage there and uses the ability here in just a second, and it's great. The minions down there created the funnel for the dragons that he wanted. I have a lot of storages down there, so they're going to have plenty of... They're out of defense's range, though, so they had plenty of time to get rid of those. Drops a rage. The queen up here, meanwhile, has taken out the other 2 air defenses that are up there and is still at full health because the healers are still up. So he got huge value for that queen walk. The rage drags just decimate the enemy queen, dropping his barbarian king to get some extra defense and percentage points over there to speed up the cleanup process. Still has his clan castle, which is filled with hogs, which I think he was planning on using to help get rid of an air defense, but ended up not needing them. So he drops them down here just to help get rid of those remaining defenses. He still has 3 drags up. His Archer Queen is still up at full health. His Barbarian King just got rage and is about to go down in a few seconds, but at this point, he's pretty much good. No air defenses can harm his healers. No air defenses can harm his dragons. So, there's not much left to this story. Really great job, Wiggum. I love seeing those drags being used. Alright. Now we're going to look at my attack on Kin. And this was my first attempt at a queen walk ever. I'm really glad it went well. I'm going to talk through exactly what I was thinking with each move. I dropped the wizard over there just to get that funnel created. I wait on dropping the healers just because I was kind of worried about the healers running over to the wizard if he started getting hit, but that was probably just me being overcautious. I dropped 2 balloons just to get rid of those defenses over on that side because they're very susceptible with nothing targeting them except for the archer tower. My queen's health is starting to get low. I didn't use the ability until much later in the raid because I saw that she was hitting that cannon and that if I could be patient, I really thought that she would be able to spare the ability, and thankfully I was right, but just barely so. So she starts getting close to that cannon, so I go ahead and drop a golem to get that tanking going. I drop my second clan castle golem at the bottom there, get some wizards to create the funnel. I drop 2 more up here just to go ahead and help start depleting the storage's health. Both the golems are going over to that cannon. I drop my wall breakers to open up that compartment. They're going to jump in as soon as that cannon goes down. My Archer Queen actually ended up targeting the enemy Archer Queen before she could even get over the wall. So that was really nice. Got rid of a lot of damage per second very early on. Golems are finally going in. All 4 Teslas were in that compartment. Oh no, 3 Teslas, my apologies, were in that compartment. I still have all of the healers up. The clan castle troops are going down thanks to the poison. I did entirely waste that heal, though. I waited longer on the hogs than I meant to, so all of the defenses in that section over there were already targeting something, so that heal was entirely wasted. That is my fault. And after that, all of my heals seemed very off after that. I just kind of psyched myself out. Fortunately, because I had my healers up for so long, my heroes are still at full health. Both of them still have their abilities, so I have a lot of room for error because of that. I dropped the rest of my hogs over there. I'm getting another heal on them. Probably could have used a heal in the core just to help get more damage going towards that expo, because there is a double giant bomb set right in there. Fortunately, because of the way the defenses went down, my hogs did manage to avoid it. taking out that wizard tower finally, and that's it. Now it's just clean up. Both my heroes still up. Both of them still have their abilities. Got some wizards on the south side for cleanup, some goblins as well, and the enemy barbarian king has been distracting, but he's about to go down. Double giant bomb set does trigger, but it only takes care of one of my hogs, and as soon as that gold mine goes down, it's game over. The next one we're going to look at is Tyto taking on Beakerface. So he's bringing a Goholowiwi with some hogs just to help get rid of the air defenses over there. He drops 2 golems, and he has 6 witches, which are going to do a ton of tanking. It's going to be super helpful for him. So he's dropping the golems to get those tanking, to get some tanking start going. Drops some wizards for the funnel. One wizard does die over here, so the funnel doesn't get fully created, but thanks to the way that the wall broke and the way his witches were placed, his skeletons go and finish that funnel and die just in time for the witches to resummon them to help do tanking in the core. I think he could have been a little more patient on his Barbarian King and a little earlier on his Archer Queen, just because that balloon is going to target his Barbarian King and it's going to go down pretty quickly. Well, it almost went down pretty quickly. He still has the ability, so he was safer then. The jump was a little late, but that's fine. Everything's fine because you have so many skeletons in that core that there really isn't much stopping them from breaking through a wall if they needed to. He drops his hogs over here, and they don't end up getting to the air defense, but it ends up being absolutely fine because he has so much tanking in that core that his heroes are able to get to every defense without those hogs. So now all that's left to do is send in those balloons, and they're taking out the defenses as they see them. Rage over there just to help the balloons get rid of those defenses, and it's GG at this point. All of the balloons do end up going down up here because of air skeletons, but air skeletons are only going to take care of the loons. He has so many wizards left over. Both of his heroes are still up. 3 witches, I think, are still up. So there's not much that can keep this from 3-starring. Great job, Tyto. The next one we're going to look at is Chad taking on Drago. And it's Govaho. I love Govaho. I love seeing Valks being used, so this is a lot of fun for me to watch. Drops a golem to go ahead and get some tanking going, and wizards to create the funnel. Archer Queen goes down, sends in some wall breakers. He only has 1 golem, I think, and just a ton of Valks, which are all going to go down here in just a second. And there they are. I think you saw the goblin come out of the clan castle and thought all of it was being lured, so he goes ahead and drops a Valks, and I think the enemy clan castle troops do end up targeting those Valks, and a few of them go down. It wasn't too detrimental, clearly, as his heroes are doing fine. A cannon did end up locking onto his Archer Queen, but he sends in a few hogs to go ahead and get it down, and he jumps on the Queen's ability to keep her up. A heal in the core and a jump to the core keeps a few of those Valks up. Another heal and a rage just to make sure everything's going down. And now all that's left to do is surgical deployment of the hogs, because the core and any double giant bomb sets, or possibility for double giant bomb sets, are going to be taken care of by all of the damage that's in the core. He still has a few wizards up there. I think 3 Valks, his Barbarian King, they're just taking out everything as they see it. His hogs are taking out every defenses as they see them. So it's just done. Double giant bomb set does trigger, but it's on the wrong side of the expo, so all of his hogs are fine. And there's just 2 defenses left, and after that it's just cleanup. Great job, Chad. I think I have one more for you, and that is UT Tiger taking on number 13, Brock. And believe it or not, it is a Th9 Laloon. something I have not seen in so long, but I don't know, man. UT Tiger just picked apart the base. He knew exactly where he wanted everything to go and how he wanted it to go down, and it went very well for him. Sends in a few loons and a haste spell to go ahead and get them all the way to lure out those clan castle troops. Drops his archer queen. He's just doing a kind of a trade here where it's heroes for the clan castle troops. As soon as the dragon hits his archer queen, he uses the ability and lets the barbarian king come out to do the tanking. He doesn't bring any wall breakers, which I think did make this a little risky, but thankfully, because of the update, they're going to start targeting the enemy Archer Queen faster. So, Barbarian King is working on the wall, Archer Queen's working on the wall, and she's going to start attacking the enemy Archer Queen, and it's going down. And that's it. All 5 of his hounds are in there. The Archer Queen is down. The Clan Castle troops are down, so he doesn't have much to worry about here. He's just sending in all of his loons and all of his hounds, trying to get all of those defenses down. He ends up double tapping a rage over here, which it doesn't hurt him too badly. It's not the worst thing in the world, just because with a Penta, if you have 5 hounds, you have room for error if the Archer Queen and Clan Castle troops are already down. There's not much that can cause the raid to go sour at that point. One of the air defenses, the one that's left over, is level 5, so it's not going to do too much damage, but it did end up getting that last hound down before the loon started to get over to it. All of the pups from that hound end up getting taken down as well because of it, but those last few loons are finally getting over to those defenses, and they're going to take them out right there and there. And now it's just cleanup. I think cleanup was a little close just because the small number of pups that were left over, but he's fine. He has a lot of loons, and loons aren't terrible cleanup troops. They're not fast, but they do a lot of damage, so if their storage is left over, they can take them out. Alright, really good a chop. Wow, really good job, UT Tiger, or U-Tiger. Really good job, everyone in the war. It was really fun seeing all those attacks. I'm excited to have it happen again at some point in the future. Thanks for watching, everyone.